So hi Naveed, thanks for being on the first episode of the PassionAi show. I'm really happy to have you on this show because we've been knowing each other for like 11 years now, and I'm 100% sure that neither you or nor me ever thought that we were in such a situation wherein we talk to each other in a so-called very professional manner. But the whole idea behind having you on this show for the first episode itself was because being a friend, I've known that um, you've taken a lot of right decisions in your career, whether it has been your personal life or your professional life, and which actually gave you the strength to overcome all the odds and do what you actually wanted to do. So I thought when we start the show, having a chat with a person like you would be great, and it would give a lot of insights to all the listeners of our show. Wasting no more time, I think I've always admired the fact that you have left something behind which actually could have given you a great output, and you reached the stage and you are doing something which actually is again giving you good output. But that strength that you got to make the decision was really great. So we'll probably start from the time when you actually graduated in India, did your undergraduation, and then we'll move across how you chose your first career and what gave you the strength to choose that career path, and how you took the decision to leave that opportunity, go abroad, do your master's, then the phase wherein you were searching for jobs after your master's there in New Zealand, and then we talk about probably what you're doing now. Um, Jumping on to the question, my first question would be, how was your journey in India, Naveed? First of all, why did you take the decision of doing engineering, first of all?
So, first of all, thank you, Ram Vignesh, for inviting me for this show. Yeah, I know, as you said, it's going to be a crazy thing for me as well. First time I think we are going to be this formal and not in the usual way we talk with each other. But yeah, let's give it a try. Let's see how things goes. With regards with your first question, yep. So engineering was always been my desire to go for. Like I was not good with biological science area, so I have never had an intention to go into the medical side. So engineering was my choice, and I actually wanted to become an aeronautical engineer. So that my aim was to be a pilot, not go into any kind of IT jobs or something like that. Just go into a pilot. Pilot was my ambition to become, but unfortunately, due to the financial reasons and stuff, I was not able to pursue that. And then my parents and my close relatives suggested to go with electronics or communication or IT side of things instead of going with the aeronautical because being aeronautical, I'm still going to be working. Maybe I'll be working with some airlines and stuff, but still, it's not what I wanted. So since based on their suggestions of electronics or communication or IT, I went with IT because it's kind of more broader than information technology side because in electronics and communication we get to know about IT as well. Like we have few courses with regards to coding and how things works in the IT department and stuff. So that's why I chose electronics and communications as my undergraduate thing.
It's actually good to hear, bro. Because see, most of the people, especially people like me, who always, if you'd asked me this question, probably would have said that I'm not an engineer by choice, but I'm engineer by chance because I wanted to do something else, but I ended up doing something else. And obviously, you had so much clarity before doing engineering. Because if you ask me how I chose my course, was like, dude, my one of my uncles told me if you choose engineer, I mean ECE, that's electronics and communication, then you might have a good future. That's how I ended up in ECE. But there's no person who had the maturity to think so much even before doing undergraduation is really great. See, being a friend for 11 years, I've never asked you this question, but now I got the opportunity to know why I actually chose engineering. That's really good, dude.
That's true.
Yes. So the second thing would be like,
And it's not about the
okay, you.
maturity actually. It's yeah. Yeah, sorry. So it's not about the maturity. Even I was not that mature when I started engineering and stuff. It was like how to say, it was like the feedbacks from my relatives, mostly from my uncle and stuff. So it kind of gave me a clarity, like what stream I should go into. But yeah, like you said, engineering was my choice, but the stream which I wanted to go was from various other factors, from my relatives, from my close circle and stuff. And then I shortened down to electronics and communication.
Oh, that's it. Good to hear, bro. Okay, so I know now why you chose engineering and stuff. Then I know how you pursued your course. You were really good in studies back then. But I always admire the fact that though you were really good in studies, you were never like that nerdy guy in class. You always made sure that you participated in everything, even those funny stuff we as backbenchers used to do. You were always a part of that. Obviously we as backbenchers we were doing stuff but we were not studying as well, but you made sure that you studied and you learned all the core aspects of ECE as well, though you were very keen in doing or learning IT stuff specifically. You were good in ECE stuff as well. So um, just listening to your answers, my question would be like, okay, you were into ECE, you wanted to get into IT, but was IT your thing? Did you always wanted to work in an IT sector, or was your calling something else? Or didn't even realize that calling until the final year?
No.
Hmm.
Okay. So until the final year, to be honest, I was not sure that where I'm going. No, I
Hmm.
wouldn't say that I was not sure where I want to go to. I was having a kind of a direction which I wanted to go to, which was the management side of things.
Okay.
So IT, yeah, no. Till the placement, we started going into the placements. I was not like very adamant or stuff. I just want to go into IT and not anything else. Like if it was IT, then I would have just gone with the IT course. I would have chosen the electronics and communication side.
Hmm.
So I was like kind of open-minded. I was like, okay, I want to go into management. That's my first thing. If God forbid, if something doesn't happen with the management side, I was not like I'm just going to keep trying. Yes, keep trying for a certain amount of time, but I'm not going to just stick with management. I was like open-minded and had my options broad so that I can get whatever is coming my way. And if I feel the what comes in my way is kind of good, and I would like do good, like excel in that particular field, I'll choose that. So that's how I got into the IT.
Okay, that's good to hear, bro. But again, see, the more answers you give, right, there are a lot of questions which I actually want to ask. So when you mean management, see, for a guy like me, I never liked EC. I somehow, as I told, I ended up in engineering. I chose EC, but I was never into it actually. I wouldn't say the course was bad. I would just say that I
Mm-mm.
wasn't interested in it. So I had to search for what qualities I had. Then eventually I realized that my quality was like, dude, speaking to a lot of people. I was easily capable of talking to any unknown person. So I realized that that was my strength. So I had to search for some opportunity in the management side. But that wasn't the case with you. You were talent. You knew what was happening in EC. You knew what was happening in IT and stuff. So what made you think that you were a person who had to work in the management side? It's just because you told me that you had to you know search for jobs in the management side because you wanted to enter the management side. So what made you decide that, dude, I'm made for the management side?
Okay. So in to answer that question, like you know that we as the backbenchers we used to keep talking a lot and stuff. Like I'm not like as I'm kind of an introvert guy to be honest. So I get along with people easily, but not in the first instance I look at them.
Mm.
It takes for me at least couple of us to like be free with each other. Unlike you like you don't need those like that buffer time or anything like that. You are just like same with all kind of people. So I'm not like that kind of thing. But I was good at talking. Once I get to know people, I can talk like as long as I can. So that was actually like how to say that was like actually the spark which I wanted for me to say that okay, I will be good at the management side of things, so I can keep talking at things and stuff. I want to actually go into the client facing side, interact with them, get to know their objectives and stuff so that I can fulfill them. So that actually happened during our undergraduate days, during our symposium and stuff. When we used to like conduct symposiums, we used to like reach out to other people's and stuff. Though I was not directly reaching out to the people, I was like very keen to learn what's the output they got from them or any input which the like the some person the outside of the like how to say the external people which we try to bring them into our college as a judge or a chief guest or something like that. So I was very keen to know their inputs and stuff. So that I would say that's the spark which I got during that time, which, okay, I shortened down, okay, let's give it a try with the management. I think I might be good at management as well.
Hmm. So that are actually very really well curated answer, I would say, because all the listeners probably should take a lot of learning from this, because a lot of people struggle in actually understanding what's the quality basically, because you told me that these symposiums that we used to have in colleges helped you a lot in understanding, okay dude, I have this quality, why not give it a try? But whereas I see, I used to understand, I mean, be a part of the symposium, but I never thought in this way. Obviously I did see that, see, I have this quality, that quality, but I never spent time understanding, okay, if I spend time in this quality, I might have a good future. But it's good on you for that, bro. And I think a lot of listeners probably have to make sure that they develop this quality of understanding themselves, which would further help them probably in their personal career or their professional career. So that is really good of you. Then probably we'll just fast forward now and go to the fourth year of your of college days, or probably the last semester of the third year, when everybody was actually very keen in talking about what are we going to do after college days? Are we going to get a job? Is it going to be really difficult getting a job? Would we actually get a job before we complete our studies and stuff? And at that time, luckily we had a very good campus wherein we had a lot of companies coming up. We had mock interviews and stuff. So at that time, when you gave mock interviews and stuff, you would have had a mindset before mock interviews and after mock interviews, right? So when you gave the mock interviews, just tell me about your experience there. Was it really good, or was it like after mock interviews you were like, dude, I have to improve a lot of things, or were you like you became really confident on I'm going to crack something the next year?
Yeah. So before mock interview, I was confident enough, like, okay, yeah, I can crack the interview. It's not
Hmm.
gonna be difficult. I can speak my way out and stuff. But
Hmm.
once I attended the mock interview, then I realized that no, what I was thinking was wrong. Like, I need to improve myself. I need to like understand how things works and stuff. So mock interview was a very big eye opener for me. Maybe if there was no mock interview and if I just went into the direct interview, like the placements directly, then maybe I would have failed miserably. Mock interview was a very big eye opener for me, where I had to develop myself in terms of speaking, in terms of my body language and everything like that. So yeah, to be honest, like the mock interview which was conducted by college, the placement cell of our college, it kind of really helped me to like prepare myself for the main interviews and stuff, and also to like evaluate things which would go into my way, which won't go into my way. So yes, having a mock interview, because that was to be honest, that was kind of the first interview in our life, right? For maybe most of us, I'm not
Yeah,
sure for
yeah,
I can't say
sure,
for everyone,
yeah.
but for at least most of us, it's going to be the first interview for everyone. So instead of just going like with a closed eye, it's better we have at least some kind of experience like the mock interview which we had. It's going to be very big eye opener for most of us.
Oh, that's good to hear. So obviously, yes, as you said, most of the people, for them, it was a first interview experience altogether. But what I would say is, whether it was the first interview or the second or third interview, it was still a very a phase which was very, a lot of people had a lot of nervousness. If you ask me, my situation was I had already given
Yeah.
a lot of interviews because I wanted to become an army officer, so I had gone for the service selection board and stuff. I had given interviews in front of big army officers and stuff. But even if I had done that, I still have had that bloody nervousness inside me. When I sat for the mock interview, I was like, dude, what am I going to say? If they ask me, tell me about yourself, what am I going to tell them? So that way, obviously, as you said, that phase was really good and it helped us a lot. Okay, so I know now what the mock interview and stuff was. Now the biggest question that you have to answer is, okay, we come to the fourth year, we gave a lot of interviews and everybody got some jobs and stuff, but you were one of the first guys in the class to crack an interview and get an offer in hand, and that too in a very big company, which is probably just not a big SaaS player in India, but probably around the world. I mean Zoho. So my question is here: you told me that you wanted to get inside a management side, right? But the company which you got an
Yep.
offer was from IT. Obviously, you told me before that you were okay if you didn't get on the management side, but if you get an opportunity, just wanted to get inside it. But my question here was like, how did you cope up with the fact that I'm not actually going to do what I actually wanted to do, because you told me that you realized that your calling was to work in the management side because you realized you had the quality and you wanted to give it a try. But here you're going to enter something, though you were okay with it, but were you like really satisfied with it? So my question here, the reason behind me asking this question is a lot of people wouldn't have taken this opportunity because they would like, dude, I don't want to do this. So what made you take up this opportunity?
Okay, so I won't say I was satisfied. Okay, I was very happy with the job which I got. The
Hmm.
Zoho, that was the first company which I got into. So it's kind of a very big company. To be honest, I have never heard about Zoho at least 6 months before the interview was starting. So my aim was like to get into Musicma, which I was sure of. It's kind of a
Hmm.
management analytics kind of job which I'll
Okay.
be having if I got selected. If not, it was Accenture, Infosys, or CTS. So because those are the big names which we always keep hearing from and stuff. So
True,
like
true.
6 months before the placements started, like when we got the announcement saying that so and so dates the placements are going to start, I started preparing along with a few of our friends, the common circle which we have. So we started preparing like we were like doing some kind of codings and stuff. So that was like challenging for me. So like how to say, like whatever we did for during for the semester exams and stuff, it was the textbook things. But when I started preparing, I got to learn more things. Like I was starting to build up this curiosity where I wanted to crack that, I want to get the output delivered and stuff. So that curiosity actually made me to read more stuff, learn more things, and get myself prepared for the interview. So, like in that case, I won't say that I didn't try for the management side of things. So, in our college, the first company which came for the aptitude round was Musingma, which is kind of a management
Okay.
job which I was actually looking for.
Okay.
But by the time they announced the results for the aptitude round, the entire interview process of Zoho was completed, right? From the aptitude round, the coding round, the personal interview, the technical interview, and the final offer letter. So once everything got over, and I was fortunate enough that I cleared all the rounds and I got a offer. So at that time, I had to rethink myself. So should I still go with Musicma, or should I take up this opportunity? So then I did a little bit of my research with regards to Zoho and my career opportunities over there and stuff. I decided, okay, since I got this job and since this is the first job in my life and the first interview which I cleared all the rounds of, I was like being a bit biased towards it and I selected with the role. But I was very happy. Like, I was very happy that I got into that role. So it kind of like gave me a confidence boost as well. Okay, I'm good at like coding as well. It's not that I just got this job just like that. I had to prepare for it. I did my hard work and everything. That's how I got the job. So I was very happy with it. But and the back of the mind, I know that I'm not gonna be working for a long period of time. I always had the idea of going for higher studies in management. So I knew that I'm just going to go
Mm.
into Zoho, the IT role, just for like how to say, just as a learning thing, and also to get myself exposed to the IT world, and being working in
Okay.
one of a big MNC. So yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool to hear, bro. Okay. Um, okay, what will be my next question? Okay, the next question would be like, okay, if I am not wrong, if I remember it correctly, you actually got a placement plus internship offer. I mean, internship plus placement offer. So that your internship would be on the eighth semester of engineering course, and once you're done with it, you'll be asked to come for a full-time role. So my thought process here is, was it a shocker when you entered the corporate sector because you were still a student? The reason behind me asking this question was it would still be a shocker for a lot of people, even after graduation, for entering a big company like this. And I've seen dudes who like after working for 3 or 4 months, they come back and they're like, "Oh, bro, I don't want to work in a big company like this now. I just want to quit it because it's too much pressure, it's too much work and stuff." And they end up quitting a job and they try switching roles or try switching companies within a very short period of time. How did you cope up with that? Being a student, you still have to do your studies. But you had entered a corporate sector. You had commitments with your company. At the same time, you had commitments with your student life as well. So how did you cope up with that?
It was kind of challenging for me, like coping up, like because as you know, like during the eighth semester we have the project to take care of as well, which is like the most important thing to finish in order to complete our engineering thing. So I was lucky over there as well. Like I had my project mates who were like helpful, kind enough to understand my situation. Like I was contributing to them as well. I was doing my job at Zoho as well. So it was challenging for me. Initial few days were kind of tough from the time I started going into Zoho. Like maybe the first week or the second week was kind of tough because I had to work for like 3 days in Zoho and come back for 2 more days to attend the classes and stuff. So it was kind of difficult at the initial stages. But once things got along, I got used to it. Like I started enjoying myself working in Zoho. Like the things which I was learning over there was kind of empowering me to go get up from my bed early in the mornings, catch a bus, go to Zoho and stuff. And also with the project which we were doing for our final semester was kind of interesting, which also made me to like put in some extra work. I know that it's not gonna be there forever. It's just gonna be a couple of months. So I was like okay to put my hard work in it in order to get both things and keep a balance between both of them.
Okay, okay, that's good, bro. The one part I loved was like, you told me that the hard work that you're doing, the energy consumption that was happening was not for a long period of time. Obviously, there'll be a phase where you're going to enjoy it. So probably everybody has to take a lesson that even if you're
Yeah,
facing some issues or you have to put on more hard work, it's obviously going to be for a very short period of time because that hard work will probably will give you good
that's true.
times in future. That is a good, probably that's a good outtake for me
Yep.
from what you said. Because I've had situations in life that I've given up very easily, which you would be knowing. So the next question would be, okay, you're done with your job, you're done with the studies, you worked there and so for a year. Then, as you told, you wanted to do your masters in the management side, and you ended up doing a masters in New Zealand, in University of Auckland, masters in engineering management, if I'm not wrong.
Yep.
So, okay, let's just skip
Yep,
it.
that's correct.
You're done with your masters now. Done with your masters now. You're going to and I mean search for jobs again. The question here would be, you were already in a very good role. Obviously, you had the mindset that you wanted to do masters, so you were very clear in it. But my question would be, see, it's a human tendency. When you were like, okay, dude, I've done 2 years here in India. I'm going to study masters. Didn't you get a thought that, bro, I'm in a very good company here. If I work here for a few more years, I might get a very stable career in terms of my personal life, professional life, and I would be financially stable as well. So, did you have a second thought on, should I be going abroad to do my masters, or should I just continue here? Did you even think about it? If you have think about it, then you could give me answers. Or if you were like, no, I didn't have that thought, the straight away answer could be no, I didn't think about it.
No, when I joined Zoho, I was like, whatever happens at the end of 1 year or 2 year at the max,
Hmm.
I'm leaving the job and I'm going for my higher studies. But once things started going, like working there for a year, then again I started applying for universities over here. Then unfortunately, I was not able to get it at the first try due to some reasons. But after that, then I had a thought, okay, so should I now like go and do my higher studies, or should I just focus on my career at Zoho and just grow myself and things? I had various thoughts. I was going back and forth. Sometimes one day I was like, okay, it's fine. Let's go. Let's do higher studies, which was my first aim. Then on the next day I was like, okay, let's think about it again. But then after going back and forth for a couple of times, then I thought like, okay, it's not that I'm gonna achieve both the things. I can't be doing higher studies and I can't be working at MNC. I had to give up on something in order to focus and have a laser focus on something which I want. So then I decided, okay, it's fine. Whatever happens, happens. I know, like, I can work hard. I know about that. So I was confident enough that I'll be getting a job wherever, like in New Zealand or after my studies and stuff. So then I made a strong decision that let's leave Zoho now and go with what I want, which was come to New Zealand, do my higher studies, and find a job over here. It was difficult, but
Okay,
yeah.
that's,
So
that's
in
good.
life, we have to give up something to achieve something bigger. Yeah, that's there.
Yes. So probably you took the decision of going to New Zealand. Probably that's why that persuaded me to come to New Zealand and start do my masters. Obviously, I'm back now, but probably you were one of the reasons for me to choose New Zealand because I knew that there was a friend who so it'd be more comfortable for me. So keeping that aside, you're done with your masters in New Zealand. Okay. So after that, you're entering the job market. So you're basically starting from point zero again.
Yeah.
Though you had an experience of almost a decent amount of time, that is 2 years in India, it is you are still considered as a typical fresher, the market outside India. So being a fresher, I would say again, being a typical fresher in New Zealand market, how was that journey for you after graduating till the time you ended up in a good role? Because being a friend, I know that it wasn't a cakewalk for you. You had to struggle a lot. You had to apply for a lot of jobs, though you had the talent to crack even the toughest of toughest interviews. It wasn't easy for you. You had a lot of rejection and stuff. I have gone through it, but I want you to tell all the listeners here now what was this phase because I see a lot of people getting demotivated. Okay, because I was in a phase where I got a lot of demotivation. Luckily, I ended up in a job which I loved a lot. But then it was my decision to come back and do something on my own here. But I have a lot of dudes out there in the market still now who are demotivated because they don't have a job, and they end up taking decisions which they shouldn't take. So, what do you have to say to them?
Yeah. So after my studies, after my masters, it was kind of difficult for me because as soon as I completed my masters, it's the time when the COVID was striking here
Hmm.
in New Zealand, and we were going to the lockdown. So, but I was like preparing myself. Like the University of Auckland was like they have so conducted so many workshops, like seminars, webinars, and stuff, where they invited people from like big four, like KPMG's companies to give some lectures and
Hmm.
how things are going to happen when we enter into the job market and stuff. So I was building myself for that. I was like building my network here, like reaching out to people on LinkedIn and stuff to just to ask them if there are any internships available which I can work for. I
Hmm.
was not during my studies, like when I was still a student, I was not looking for internships which was a paid internship. I was just looking for some exposure in the New Zealand market, in the New Zealand job market.
Okay.
So yeah, after that, when I completed my studies, when the COVID hit, it was difficult, as I said earlier. So, but I was not giving up. So I was still applying for jobs continuously. Like me, every day I was kind of applying my jobs. It's the human nature. Once we get rejected, or if things are not going into our way, we go into the depression mode and we get depressed on ourselves. But that's not gonna help us. We need to punch our way out of it. So yeah, even I was getting depressed and stuff, but that doesn't mean that I was giving up on applying jobs or doing anything else. I was continuously applying for my jobs, applying for new jobs, giving interviews, getting rejected, going back and forth and stuff. In the meantime, I was also like doing some kind of certification courses like LinkedIn tutorials, LinkedIn courses and stuff, which
Hmm.
would give me an additional advantage when I would go for an interview and have a little bit of a strong
Okay.
CV when applying and stuff. So yeah, like I was continuously applying, was never giving up, and finally I got a good job, like an awesome job actually.
Okay, so the takeaway from whatever you said would be like, obviously you would be in a point where nothing would work according to what you want to work, but you should never give up and you should just keep moving on and just keep doing your job and never expect results at the earliest. It is when it is going to happen, it is going to happen. So probably that would be a takeaway from whatever you said.
That's
I
true.
just put up a good structure for it now. Okay. Um, so as I said before, Navi, the whole idea about having this conversation which we're having now was to understand how your journey was. Because in this conversation we had, right, the listeners would understand the fact that you had to make different decisions at different point of time in your life. So this talk show is going to be like that only. We'll meet people every week who have taken multiple decisions in your life. Because if I talk to a person who has probably worked in a company for like 6, 7 years at a go, obviously he would have taken a lot of professional decisions. But talking to a person like you who has like had to jump different roles and at different point of time in life, the experience would be different altogether. I'm not saying that the other person doesn't have any experience at all. He would obviously have a lot of experience, but a person like you would have experience which could probably give insights to people who have different perspective from their life. That was the whole point of having you on this show, and I think you served the purpose really well as well. Before wrapping up everything, I think last few things I would want from you is like, what do you think about the market? Do you think the market is competitive around the world, and are there jobs available in the market? Because when I talk to youngsters nowadays, I realize the fact that they are way matured than what we were at that stage. Okay. But the biggest question they ask me is, bro, would I be getting a job? Are there jobs in the market? Because what they get to see a lot now is that people are getting fired for companies. And I've been hearing from youngsters that we apply for 1,000 jobs, but we don't get a job. What do you think about the market? Are there jobs in the market? Because what I feel personally is jobs are always there in the market. It's just the fact that you have to keep trying and you have to equip yourself to an extent that nobody can say no to you. That's why I say obviously luck factor is there. Luck plays a role, but luck doesn't play a role bigger than the quality you have and the capability you have. So what do you think about the market? Give me two answers for it. Is the market really big enough in the it could be a New Zealand market or the global market to accommodate talents nowadays? And second answer should be like how how should you equip yourself to get a job?
Okay. So yes, like you said, like there are jobs everywhere. Not only in India, New Zealand. It's like jobs are there everywhere. Everybody needs people to work. Like if not, there are so many new things which is coming up nowadays. Like each and every day, some new technology comes up which like awes us, fascinates and stuff. All those are done with the help of someone. It's not coming up automatically. So jobs are there. It's just that we have to like search for it. It's not like it's not gonna come to you on a platter. Yeah, even in this current social network world which are we living in, if sometimes it does comes in a platter. There are so many sites like LinkedIn and stuff. We always say that it is difficult for us to get a job. Then just imagine how our like previous generation would have gotten, where there was no social media, no LinkedIn.
Hmm.
Everything was done
True that.
using the
True that,
free
bro.
ads which was coming every week, and they used to apply for it and they used to get it. Even now we have to just go create an account in different job sites, build our networks, get to know things and stuff. That's how you can get a market. It's not that you are just gonna sit in front of a laptop or a mobile phone and keep saying
Hmm.
that I'm not getting a job, I'm not getting a job. It's just you have to apply for it. Only then people will know that you have applied for it. They can see your CV, they can consider you, they can call you for an interview. Even if you're getting rejected in the first interview, or if you're getting rejected in interviews, doesn't mean that you're not going to get a job. There is something special waiting for you down the lane, which you will eventually get. But like I said previously, we should not get demotivated by it or just stop applying for the jobs. We should still try our best, keep applying for the roles we want, and eventually we'll be getting. Hope I answered both of your questions.
Oh. I think you answered the first one, but probably the second one, I'll probably give answer for
Okay.
that. I asked the question,
Yeah.
but because you've spoken a lot now, I don't want to make it tired, so I'll probably give the answer. The question was like, how should you equip yourself to crack a job? So what I feel is that the generation now is like, not everybody, but most of the people who I come across are like they want a job, but they don't want to equip themselves in order to fit in that particular role.
Mm,
I've been trying to bring people into my team for the last 1.5 months. You know it, but we're not able to fill that
yeah.
position because it is not that people aren't applying. People are applying, but when we interview them, we realize the fact that they are interested in that role, but they haven't put an effort to equip themselves to work in that role.
Mm,
Okay, right. So what I would say, you can correct me if I'm wrong. What I would say is that, dude, when you're applying for a job, make sure that the person on the opposite side talks to you. He cannot say no to you. Okay, equip yourself to an extent that the company says, dude, this is the one I want. Because all the companies now, they're not
mm,
hiring employees now. They're basically hiring leaders now. See, they want the candidate to take a responsibility. Because if I'm hiring a person today, how I see him is 2 years down the lane, 3 years down the lane, he'll probably be in a leadership position in the company. So I want people to do that. What do you think about this, Naveed?
That's true. That's true. Like you said, like everybody, like people don't like to be micromanaged, and people don't want to be micromanaged as well. So you have to like
Yeah.
put your step. put your foot on, like raise your voice when it's needed and stuff, so that you are heard, and like you can do things independently and you're not dependent on others. Like you said, yes, we need to equip ourselves. We can't just be like in a piece of paper, we just create a CV with
Mm.
all the stuffs which we have done and apply for it. We have to also be careful that what roles we are applying for, are we really know stuff? If not, we can prepare for it. It's not going to be that if you don't know stuff, it's not that you
Mm.
can't apply.
True.
You still have time. You can prepare yourself in that amount of time, equip yourself so that when you go for an interview, you can answer the questions which the interviewer asks. We are not going to answer 100% of the questions. Like, we don't know anything 100%. That's my thing. Like, that's how I feel. Like, I know things, but I don't know 100% of
Mm.
it. But I want to know 100% of it. So that's
True.
the kind of mentality which I feel that people should have, and should always not be like, okay, I know this thing, I can survive with this. No, there will be one point of time where that thing is not going to be enough for your survival. Then you have to equip yourself. Maybe by that time, the time would have flown by, you would have aged and stuff. Then the youngsters would come and take your positions. It's good that the youngsters are coming and taking your positions, but I feel that youngsters should be, for the youngsters, you should be an inspiration. Like how you do things and stuff, they should inspire from
True.
there, and maybe they can also give you feedbacks. Basically, we should be like open to feedbacks. We should like take things which are coming across, like around us, and then we should decide. We should have the maturity that, okay, this feedback given by them would really help me to grow myself. All people who give feedback are just not giving for a namesake. They want something good from you. So we should not take feedbacks in a negative way. We should always take it as a positive thing for us and grow from there.
That's good. That's well. That actually this is probably one of the best answers in the whole session we had for half an hour, and a lot of insights into one single answer itself, Naveed. So before wrapping up, Naveed, I'm really happy that we were able to do this because I never imagined that we would be able to do this because I thought I'll just start laughing in the middle of the session, but it just happened. I know that you're controlling yourself. I mean, I'm controlling myself, but I'm happy that this thing happened between us, this kind of thing, because this would have never happened if we didn't have a show like this. So thanks for being on the show, Naveed. Thanks for giving a lot of insights to me and to other people who want to hear this session as well. And to people who are listening to us, you can give a shout out to Naveed in LinkedIn. His profile is Naveed Ahmed Syed. And he's been working in Parrot Analytics in New Zealand for almost a year now. And he's a software engineer. And if I'm not wrong, and even in India, you were working as a software engineer, right? In
Yep,
Zoho.
even in India for software
So,
engineering.
yes. So obviously he'll reach more heights and stuff. Thanks for being on the first episode again, Naveed.
Thank you.
We'll wrap it up. And as in New Zealand, they say, sweet as bro. Until next time. See you then. Bye bye.
Thank you, Ramesh. Thank you. Have a nice day.